What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 35, season 4, Girl You Know What
My God, on
podcast.
today.
Listen, when I was writing down the notes, I said, ooh, episode 35. I said, we
My
are
God, on
moving.
today.
Okay.
35.
Yeah. Ooh. So I'm Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
And we missed y'all the last couple weeks. We took Thanksgiving weekend off, and
And we took your birthday out,
yeah, my
baby.
44th, girl. And I didn't do really anything but chill. I hung out. You texted me and said, hope you're having a good 40th. I was like, girl, I am with these kids and I am having a blast. So, yeah, but no, I had a good birthday. It was
That's good.
yeah, it was nice. So, but other than that, yeah, we're just getting prepared for the rest of
Ooh,
the year, the holiday and all that good
Christmas.
fun
Forgot about
stuff.
Christmas.
Girl,
We all need to forget about Christmas.
listen. I tell my family all the time, if it wasn't for these kids, y'all wouldn't see me. I'd be at home, forget a Christmas dinner,
Listen.
all of
Oh,
that.
we're not having Christmas dinner this year. Uh,
Oh,
I've already informed them that I have priced the gyro platter and Jersey
yes.
Mike's. Y'all can go to hell. I don't got time. I cooked all that food on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I don't got it to do.
I know that's
Uh-uh.
right. And
We'll have Christmas breakfast.
oh, that'll be
I'm gonna put
nice.
some steak in the
Mm-hmm.
crock pot, make it real tender.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can have steak and eggs and
Hey, that's
home
enough.
fries and biscuits.
Hey, I know some families, like I know like this family that lived next door to my grandparents for years. Both of the parents have passed away since then, but and they've all moved out and everything. But I remember every Christmas morning when we would come over here to see my grandparents, that their driveway, excuse me, and yard would be packed because they had a Christmas breakfast every
Yeah,
morning, and then that was it.
yeah. That's
So.
what we used to like when my grandfather was alive. His sisters,
Mm-hmm.
like his family, had the Christmas breakfast. So
Mm-hmm.
we would be at Nana's and we would open our gifts, and then we would go over Aunt Lavita's or Aunt Lucinda's, and we would have Christmas breakfast. And I
Mm-hmm.
only want to make the steak because of Aunt Lucinda, because she used to make that steak and it would be in gravy. And she made it in
Mm-hmm.
the oven. But that's always what I wanted to do. When you have Christmas breakfast, make steak and gravy.
Yeah.
And y'all can go somewhere.
That's it. And and then there's nothing wrong with, I mean, we're at the age now where we're taking control of things around the family, and there's
I'm so
nothing wrong with starting
I
new
don't want
traditions.
control. I want to sleep.
That's it. I did last year. I remember I went over to my mom's. Of course, I always go over there when the kids wake up and they come down, and I watch them open their gifts, and then I come back home and chill, then I'll go back over there for dinner. I
Hmm.
was I wasn't feeling good last Christmas. Like I don't know what it was, but I just wasn't feeling
Oh,
too good. So I ended up staying home. And let me tell you, after I left my mom's, I called her like maybe a couple hours later and was like, I'm not coming back for dinner. So I was like, I'm just going to chill here. That was the best day because I put
I
on.
mean, we need rest.
Yeah,
We are a generation of nap
that's
takers.
it.
I can just vividly remember, especially freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
when me and Shanita um used to come home from school.
Mm-hmm.
Shanita lived upstairs on the third floor. I lived on the first floor. We lived in an apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
We used to turn Jurassic Park on,
Yes,
and we used to go to sleep
that was it.
every day for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We high school kicked our ass when we first
It
started.
really did.
And then we just randomly took naps from that point forward. Like, I don't understand how this generation is surviving
I don't either.
with no sleep,
Me
honey.
either. I don't know what it is, what they
And
got
that's
going
why we
on.
sleep as adults.
Exactly, because I mean that's just what we did. It was just like we,
Yeah.
we were going to take a nap. Like Michael always used to say, "I'm going to bed." I mean, it was a nap, but he was like, "I'm going to bed." I was like, "I know that's right."
Listen.
Yeah.
That's why when stuff get hard, like
Mhm.
what the first thing we do?
Go to
Let me
sleep.
lay down and go to sleep first. It's like,
Like I'll
you
deal with it
gotta
when I wake up.
reset. You gotta reset yourself
Yeah.
because
Seriously.
baby, this life is trying to take us out.
Yeah,
You hear me?
at a young age, and it's like, I refuse.
Oh my God, I refuse.
Child. Ooh, so
So,
let's go ahead and get in. We got, a few topics. Some things happen with your cousins out here. So,
oh my God.
child. So, first, I want to address this. This was something I added late to our list, but
Uh-huh.
um, I was reading something, and then I watched a Funky Dineva video where he was talking about like all the different relationships. First of all, let me say this. This just came to my mind because this is what he was talking about too.
Mhm.
But if Ashanti is really pregnant, y'all better check on Irv Gotti. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, that
He's
baby gonna need a 72-hour hold
listen.
because
That's the
you
first
gotta
thing I
be
thought of, and that's
laughing.
sad. That was the first.
Hey, hey, that man gonna need an actual 72-hour hold in the lockdown facility
Listen
because
immediately.
he not gonna be well.
Uh
She wasn't even back with Nelly yet, and he was acting a plum fool. We ain't y'all better check on him right now. 'Cause we ain't
exactly.
seen him since they got back together.
Yeah.
If you really stop and think,
I
we
mean,
ain't seen him since they announced they was a couple again.
yeah, the last thing I heard was when he was going off on somebody for saying that, who was it? Was it Fat Joe or somebody? Because Fat Joe was calling him out about his BS, and he said Fat Joe wasn't a friend. I think we
So
talked
we
about
ain't
that.
heard from him since
We
that
ain't heard
day.
about him since then. I'm like, ooh, yeah, y'all better check on Irv Gotti because, ooh, Lord, yeah, that's gonna be
We-
bad. Ooh,
I,
but
I just don't, and not even his relationship with Ashanti,
mm-hmm,
um, as inappropriate as it was, because he was
mm-hmm,
married, Um, and I would like to say that we kind of in this society, we kind of pick and choose who to make the villain
absolutely,
and who to make the victim in
mm-hmm,
situations, you know, or when a person is considered a victim and when a person is considered a villain.
right,
Because, and this is, just because I know that I feel like I saw this on the topic list and it just popped into my head.
mm-hmm,
Um, because why don't people talk about the fact that Irv Gotti was much older than Ashanti and like
mm-hmm,
we don't give him the same backlash that everybody gives Puffy.
right,
Like, and it's kind of weird
mm-hmm,
because they were in the exact same position, both
yeah.
executives of the record label, both sleeping with girls
Yeah,
who
who are
were on their
necessarily,
label.
yeah, working for them pretty
And
much.
Irv had a wife and a
Mhm.
family. Puffy
Mhm.
ain't never been married.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's weird. But I say that because you really are embarrassing Deb. I mean,
Yeah.
to me in all of
And
this.
he don't care, obviously. He didn't care back then, he
Like,
don't care now.
and it's funny too, if we think about it, Ashanti hasn't even gotten any of the backlash. And I don't want her to. Now I'm not saying
Mhm.
that
I
because I
I
want
know
her
what
to,
you're saying though,
because
yeah.
I like her. But I'm just saying we kind of pick and choose who we want to vilify.
Mhm.
And that's why I can never really take people serious anymore
No.
because we don't evenly distribute blame
Yeah, and I
in
mean
situations.
that's why when you hear about something you got to just go, your own opinion. You got to, like if
You
you
got to
want to
stick to what you believe is right
exactly.
because
Yeah.
if you go off of the opinions of these bloggers, of
Mhm.
social media sites, um,
Please don't do that.
everybody is biased.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, do not because nobody is really looking at it from both sides of the coin.
Mhm.
Because here she knew he was married.
Mhm.
She was involved in a relationship with not only her boss, but with her married boss.
Right.
And she came out of it crystal clear.
Mhm. And
And really, she has not ever really talked about,
has she ever
and that
addressed it? I don't think she's
we
ever addressed
clear,
anything.
no, he brings it up more than
Child.
anybody.
Yeah.
It, we see clearly he's aggressive.
Mhm.
We don't know what type of situations she's been in at the hands of him. We don't know.
Mhm.
But I just and then also she's around our age.
Yeah.
We just come from a society of people who shut up.
Yeah.
We don't really remember because you used to say stuff like, "You gonna blow the spot up." Like, chill
Mhm.
out. Like, we don't come from that attention seeking. We just don't come from that. And I think
No.
really that's my biggest aversion to all of this is like I don't like the talking makes me uncomfortable.
Mhm.
It
Yeah, it's too
makes me very
much.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then when we go to the table to discuss the events, the discussion is biased.
Mhm.
It's you come down on the person that you like the
Oh, of
least.
course, yeah. I mean, and that's just life. You're going to do that.
This is
Like
very weird to
it
me.
is. It is. Because the person that you like the most. Like, let me say this. Like, I know people who like when the Kardashians first came out, and I used to watch their show and everything. I'm not going. I didn't have like.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I didn't have any ill will towards them or whatever. It's just like they're doing what they do. And even still to this day, I'm just like,
Mhm.
hey, they took whatever and they turned it into $1 billion empire. Good for them. You can't be
Right.
mad at
Mhm.
that. But like, I know people who used to just stand for them, and it was just like they could do no wrong, even when they did, obviously, when they said problematic
Mhm.
things, when they did problematic things.
Mhm.
And I'm just using them because, they're still very popular to this day. They're not
Right.
as popular,
Right.
but but people, it doesn't matter how wrong they were, what they said, what they did,
Mhm.
there were a group of people, and you can even take like the Beehive. Beyonce
Yeah.
can do absolutely no wrong. I mean, it doesn't
Right.
matter. But the moment that someone else does something, oh, they're all over it. And it's just,
Mhm.
that's just how it is. You're always going to go stand up more for your favorite or just someone who
And
you like most.
and I'm a person, and I have had people say this to me, and it's the only reason why I can say that I'm this way because other people I'm very fair when it comes
Mhm.
to like, and you know that, like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna just take one side. We
Right.
going we gonna play both sides of the coin.
Oh
Let's look at
yeah.
the facts from both sides.
Mhm.
And one thing I will say about Beyonce, um, I I cannot think of a time off the top of my head when she has had questionable moral behavior.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I can.
I can't
But
either.
the time that really turned me from the Kardashians, because I watched from the beginning, I did
Yeah.
not miss an episode. Everybody who knows me knows that.
Yeah, I didn't need like the first 3 or 4 seasons I was on it. Every Sunday night I was watching them.
The part where they lost me. Um and Chloe was my favorite
Mhm.
because I
Same.
felt like the rest of them was bull crapping.
Mhm.
And I felt like Chloe was the most honest.
Mhm.
She did not take herself too seriously in the
No.
beginning. Like she was just her.
Mhm.
She wasn't trying to be something that she wasn't. She was just honest. But when Chloe did that with Trina and French Montana,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was that was it for me.
Yeah, I think I checked out before then, but I remember that. I was just like, "Ooh." I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah."
that was the straw, the last straw for me.
Mhm. Cuz I was like, "You're no
Only
different."
because it was already weird when Kylie started messing with Tyga.
Mhm.
That was already weird because Black China and Kim were friends.
Right.
And they were at their house all the time.
Mhm.
Not to mention Kylie was like 16 or
Yeah.
15. 15 because Tyga performed at her 16th birthday party.
Mhm.
So she was 15 and they was already engaged in a relationship. They just weren't open about it, of
Right.
course. So that was already a little like,
Serious
and
side eye.
then when we're seeing how Kim and Trina and Kelly Rowland and Sierra, remember they were all like a clique, Lala,
Mhm.
they were all cool. And then now your other sister is messing with your other friend's man.
Mhm.
I was like, nah, y'all can
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah.
And y'all doing this to black women?
Yeah, now that was what really turned me off. I
No,
was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Y'all just don't
I've been
care."
through since then.
Yeah.
I've been that was it for me.
Yeah.
I just and I just couldn't because it was just morally flawed,
Mhm.
you know. But that is when also Chloe started to change.
Yeah. She
Chloe
started.
started to do that revenge body series.
Mhm.
So that's when I knew, like, okay, so now the social media thing, it has swallowed you up. Like
Yeah.
reality TV has swallowed you.
Mhm.
And she ain't been right since then.
No, because now, honestly, with all the shit that she's been into, Chloe is like probably. I think people like come at her more than Kim now because she's more out there. Kim's kind of in the background now. Not in the
Hmm.
background. I mean, we
And when
still.
Kim was married, like,
Mhm.
she wasn't messing with nobody's. And I know this is completely off the subject, but what we need to get to the bottom of now, Shayna Parker, is that her name? Barker, Shayna
Yeah,
Barker.
Shayna Barker. Yeah.
Now we all know that Shayna and Travis was married.
Right.
Grew up when we grew up, everybody knew that. She was
Mhm.
Miss USA, and how we all try to figure out how did he get Miss USA.
Listen.
And so we knew that they was married.
Mhm.
Now it is said that Shayna said she broke up with Travis because she caught him sleeping with Kim.
I heard that too, and I did not want to believe
Now,
that. I was
how
like, "Come
in
on
God's
now."
name is your sister married to the man that you used to sleep with?
I hope that's not true. But why would Shayna lie? Shayna didn't
Shayna,
have no reason to
look, she
lie.
said that's why she left Travis.
Yeah.
That's why they broke up.
They're nasty. They're disgusting. They're disgusting heifers. I can't.
And I have not seen it, but somebody like he wrote it in like a book. I guess
Mhm.
like he has an autobiography. He wrote about Kim.
Mm.
Baby, it ain't. So, and this is what I want to know. So, did Courtney know this going in, or did she not find out until she was already in?
I don't, because you can't tell with them because I can't see Courtney dealing with that. But then again, Courtney's a little weird. So, and that weirdness has helped her, like kind of, like with the family, like kind of like separate her a little bit from the family. But she's not much different. Let's just keep it real. She's still a Kardashian. But I hope that she didn't know. But then again, if she did, or she found out, let's say she found out later.
And Travis, so is this some like sick ploy for you to get close to Kim, or do
Oh,
you really want to be with Courtney?
right. Because that relationship too came out of nowhere. I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know. They're all just weird and nasty. Who knows?
I don't
Hollywood is
know
just
how we got
disgusting.
on Lifetime of the Weird and Trashy,
Girl,
but
because I was getting ready to start with because it just made me think of Ashanti and and Irv and
oh yeah,
Nelly.
yeah, yeah,
But what I
yeah.
was really getting to, because in Funky Dineva's video, he was talking about how Monica said that C-Murder broke her heart again recently. I mean, I would thought that this was
Are you
like,
ready for this? Are we
girl,
ready for this to really go here?
girl, we have to, because
Mm.
now I kind of knew that they were in. Now you could kind of tell that they were in contact with each other. That they were, because she was really like, especially when she around the time that her and Brandy did
Broke up
their.
and they took them pictures. Remember,
Yeah,
she went to the prison to see him.
yeah. Now I saw that after. Like, was that after or was that before that her and Brandy did their verses? Because she was really. I mean, every other thing
Oh,
that
that
she.
was after because this was even when we learned about Shannon. Like this was once she had filed for divorce. Because
Okay,
remember, Master P made kind of like a comment and
that's
said,
right.
"You trying to be with her, and he can't even cry on her divorce. Like, what? This the
That's
kind of woman you
right.
want?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
ain't he ain't still married to his wife? Did she
I
divorce
thought
him?
he was. I thought he was still married.
He is because I'm gonna tell you what's the detective from the detective from the Alabama First 48.
Oh, Chris
Well, Chris,
Anderson. Yeah.
remember him and that girl had their own show.
Mhm. Yep.
See, Murder was like their season finale.
Yeah,
Or
that's
either
right.
season one or season two.
Mhm.
His wife and his kids was there.
Sure were. Yep.
Baby, let me tell you what you hoes better not never do. Just Just shut up, okay? That's what y'all do. Quit talking. Just just be with who y'all want to be with then. Because y'all kill me making songs about cheating and you mad at your husband cheating, and then you out here entertaining being a prison wife to another woman's husband. Like
Right.
I
I
don't
mean,
y'all just it's a conundrum.
it
It's
really
got to be an
is.
enigma. I just don't know about y'all no more.
Girl, when I read that, I was like, Monica, come on now. And of course, now she's
It
dating
worked
somebody
out
else. But
how? The niggas inside. Do we got a boyfriend?
that's what
I
I'm
mean, I
saying.
don't know what you mean. What you caught him right into some other woman, visiting somebody else?
And he's
And that's
married.
what prison men do. They need all the commissary boxes they can get.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Girl.
Yeah, when I read it, I just started laughing. I was like, Monica, I was like, come on now, you better than that. But obviously you ain't. So, I mean, whoo.
Monica, take my advice that I give to the women out here because you're a famous woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. Just stop
No.
dating.
Just stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
Until a man really comes at you, stop. Just
Yeah.
stop. It's dangerous. This is what I tell women, like all jokes aside. It is dangerous to date.
Mm-hmm.
It is emotionally
It
dangerous.
is.
It is mentally dangerous. And it's damn sure physically
Oh my
dangerous.
goodness.
You are putting yourself, your entire self, in
Mm-hmm.
harm's way dating
Yeah.
2023 and going into 2024.
It's sad.
It is dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Right. Just stop.
yeah, just let it naturally happen. That's the thing.
Because what's happening out here is sad.
Mm-hmm.
It is really you just don't want it.
No.
I mean, look at that. A man behind bars. A man behind bars.
For what's it been, at least 20 years, if not
Done broke
more.
your heart. If you
Again.
can't get an honest nigga in prison, he ain't even got access to no women.
Right.
His access is through I don't know what it's called now. I was gonna say pen and paper. That's how old I am.
Child.
But they got them JPay. Is that what it's called?
I
I think
don't
it's called
know.
JPay.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get them phone calls
Oh
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
can see him.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Is he talking to another woman? I just want to know what broke your heart how.
Yeah.
Because as far as I knew, did he ever have a release date?
I know. Was he up for parole or something, and then he
And
got
they
denied
denied it.
recently? Yeah, so he's gonna be in there for a while. Yeah, he's still gonna be in
Oh,
there for a
child.
while. Woo.
And look, and they can't release you to the community. Like they
Mm-mm.
don't have anybody to release you to that they would believe your life would be on a straight and narrow because Master P really don't fool with him.
No. Mm-mm.
When we watched that documentary, it was clear that he is for the streets,
Mm-hmm.
that he belongs to the hood,
Right.
and that people really, like they said, people didn't really fool with P because C-Murder actually had an apartment in them projects still.
Mm-hmm.
And Master P said he was trying to tell him, you need to come out of there. We got money.
Right.
You don't have to be over there. But he wanted to keep his street cred.
Mm-hmm. And then look what happened.
Cling, cling.
Okay. For life, most
The
likely,
bars.
child.
Child.
Ooh. So another relationship, and we got to talk about this real quick. I wasn't going to do it, but Jonathan Majors.
Okay, so what happened? I saw you put that.
Uh-huh.
What did
So
he do?
I just thought it was kind of funny because I truly believe it, and this just goes to show what happens, like in a lot. I'm just going to say it. A lot of these
Oh,
interracial relationships.
yep.
So his ex-girlfriend, the one that he's having all these issues with, she came out and said that, and she's come out with a lot of incriminating stuff since she even said this, but she came out and said that he told her, you need to act more like Coretta Scott King and Maya Angelou. I think it was another like prominent black
Michelle
woman.
Obama.
Yeah, Michelle Obama. I'm sorry. Yeah, Michelle Obama.
I mean, white lady, my first question is, what do you want us to say?
Right.
Why are you telling us? We don't
Yeah. We don't feel any kind of way about that. I mean, we know.
care. But y'all wanted him. He
Right.
wanted him.
Right. And he wanted
So
y'all.
do what he said. That's what he
Mm-hmm.
wants.
I read that and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, am I reading this right? Wait a minute. Like, come on now.
And then you, Jonathan Majors, why would you want her to be an upstanding black woman and she's white?
Right. Just
What
get
kind of crazy are you?
Yeah, just get an upstanding black woman if that's what you really wanted, but you didn't. You know, I mean, it's just
Be
like,
more like them in what way? You want her to be like, stand by your man? Like,
mm,
well, what did you mean by that though?
yeah, I'm so confused. So confused. I don't understand.
The poise, the way they carry themselves, maybe?
But why pick two prominent black women? That's my thing. It's like two prominent black women when you could have picked two, you could have said Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, you could have said, who else?
Because
Diane
he's
Feinstein. I'm
black.
just thinking of another white woman. But go
Because
ahead.
he's black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, and this is funny to me because, like,
It's
at the end of the
ridiculous.
day, I mean, he's black.
Yeah.
And I think he might have forgotten him for a little while.
Oh yeah, a lot of them do.
And then he just, it hit him like a ton of bricks one day.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you be more like Coretta? You're not Martin. That's what I told him. Why can't you be carry yourself like Michelle Obama?
Oh
I
shoot.
will when you act like Barack.
I
What are you talking
mean,
about? Like,
that
get out
part,
my face.
that ain't got nothing to do with color. You start acting like Barack, then we can talk. But right now, child.
You can't be out here comparing the wives of upstanding men when you're not an upstanding man yourself. Like, you can't add
Exactly.
something to me. You're not them.
Mm-mm.
You're not that man.
No.
Oh, gosh.
Child.
Relationships really. What did my own boyfriend told me this morning? He said, "You just have no hope, huh?"
You can't. You can't.
I was like, I just. So we were just. So I was having a conversation with my best friend, and
Uh
we were just randomly talking, and I said, I don't even want to talk to the men who inbox me. Like, I don't want to talk to them. I don't. I don't. After the first exchange of like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm already like, "Leave me alone." I
yeah.
don't even want to respond. I just don't have it anymore.
Right.
And back in my prime, in my 20s, I could carry on at the most about 4 relationships at a time.
Yes.
Like active texting and
Mm-hmm.
hey, like it was easier
Yeah.
as the quality of men has lessened. I don't have it. I mean, not that I would want to cheat or be
No,
that
yeah.
person, but I'm just saying I don't know how people. And the killer is this: them men in that inbox be married, baby.
Oh, girl.
So that even leads me further to my point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any hope. And I told my best friend, I said, even if you thought for a second, like, okay, the bullshit gonna come. You
Right.
you already know it's coming. So because you know it's coming, you have no hope. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
like whatever.
You just sitting there just waiting. Just
Huh.
waiting on some bullshit.
Waiting on it to pop up.
Yeah.
Waiting on it to pop up.
Child. Ooh.
It's just I don't know how people do it.
I
God
don't
bless.
either.
God bless you.
Oh, that's it.
Because it's rough out there. I
Okay.
mean, even with the public display of relationships crumbling that we see on the internet on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about famous people.
Right.
I'm talking about the people in our backyard that we know.
Mm-hmm.
We watch the relationships deteriorate and crumble on social media
Exactly. That's the
through
thing.
subliminal posts, through shots at the boy mama,
Mm-hmm.
shots at the girl mama, shots at your husband, shots at his sister. Like, what are y'all doing?
Listen.
Y'all scare me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Y'all scare me. I have listen. I have 30 days snoozed so many people in the past 7 days. for the most random bullshit. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. And
Child.
as we all know, I have unfriended people too.
Mm-hmm.
I have unfollowed a numerous amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it's like enough's enough after a while. It's like, come
We
on.
are almost. You 44. I'm gonna be 44 in
Right.
about 30
We're in our
days.
mid 40s. I just hit mid 40s. You're about to, so it's like,
Like,
enough's enough.
listen. At
Child.
some point, you're gonna have to sit down with your husband and have a conversation with him that is not privy to everyone in social media.
Exactly. We all don't
I
need to
mean,
know.
at some point, you're gonna have to sit down with your husband's mother or with your mother, and you're gonna have to sit down and have a conversation.
Mhm.
That's the only way you get on the other side of it.
That's it. It's
It's
like
the only way you heal from that, whatever that is that y'all going through.
mhm.
You have to sit down
Yeah.
and have a talk.
We don't
And
need to
after
be
you
in
have
your
that
home.
discussion, make a decision and say, "You're dead to me," or whatever.
Mhm.
But let me really treat you like you don't exist and stop speaking on you
Yeah.
because it only makes you look weird.
That's the thing.
It only makes you look
Yeah.
weird.
And trust me, even the people who are commenting and saying, "Yeah, girl, yeah, whatever, uh-huh, me too," and all this other stuff, they're talking about you too.
And it's clear what's going on,
Mhm.
even when you think we don't know. You know, we see it,
Yeah.
we call each other and we talk about it.
Exactly.
We've already figured it out.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're still praying for you, but
That's it.
we're, tired, we're tired of reading it.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I unfriended damn near everybody connected to bullshit. I just unfriended them, all
You
of them.
have to. You
I don't want it.
mm-mm.
Cause then you be in a relationship too long. You've been together 20 years.
Mhm.
Shut up. You're there. You're just there. Just figure it out. Cause y'all ain't going nowhere. Stop it.
No, and if you still feel like after all that time you gotta come to social media and vent about your
Then y'all probably need
relationship,
to break up.
yeah.
If there's
Child.
something that you can't get across to a person, and this, I think we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
And I know people are going to disagree with me because it's something that's going out across social media and it's been going on for about 5 years.
Mhm.
If your family don't like who you with, F them. Y'all better stop listening to that.
Okay.
But because you're making for lonely, disgruntled holidays.
Mhm.
Talk about it. Come to a common understanding.
Right.
But do not isolate her family.
Mhm.
I, I had a person, we talked about this. During the holidays, they would only be with her family.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, well, why? Well, that's just the way, she wanted it.
Mm.
Women, I just want to say something. You've got to give and you've got to take.
Yeah.
Or partners, if it's a, female female relationship, male male relationship, you cannot be so polarizing in your marriage.
Mm.
You cannot do that because what you are going to create is your partner's going to resent you.
Yeah.
They're not going to be mad at their family. You're bashing their family, or even in your go ahead and go enjoy yourself.
Right.
That's passive aggressive.
Yeah.
They want you there with them. They really do, and we've
Mhm.
got to stop this. Like we got to grow up.
Yeah.
But see, this is the cancel culture of people.
Mhm.
Now, if you haven't been abused, if the people that punch you in your mouth or beat you up, if this is just a sheer difference of opinion, you got to get over that shit for your spouse. You have to.
Mhm.
But what I'm noticing is I think we've created a culture of people who are selfish as hell.
Oh yeah.
They want everybody to cater to their needs,
Mhm.
but they are not willing to give any. It's all about them.
Mhm.
Nobody looks and says, "Hey, you went to that thing for me and I know you didn't like it. I'm going to show up for you."
Right.
That does not exist anymore.
No.
And I think we grew up with parents where it was like, we knew our dads did not want to go to all that bullshit that
Yeah.
our mothers was dragging them through,
No.
but they went.
Mm-hmm.
People now have no problem letting their spouse go places by their damn self.
Right.
That is weird. It's weird. So let's get off of this boat because I could go
Girl.
all day long.
Okay. Well, let's before we get back into some more bullshit, let's change the focus real quick on let's get off of relationships
Please.
and let's talk about Lenny Kravitz. Now, I thought this was interesting and it was something that I never thought about. So, I believe he did an interview with Entertainment Weekly or some magazine or whatever. And he basically said that he has never felt accepted by black media, by black music. And I thought it was interesting because I'm just like, okay. I mean, what do you expect? And
What
this
do you
is,
want me to say,
yeah,
Danielle? I mean,
th-
at this point, what are you looking for me to say?
girl, I mean, I
That's
just,
constructive because you know what I'm going to say.
yeah, that's why I want to talk about it. Because it's just like the type of music that he does, let's keep it real. Lenny Kravitz is a rocker.
Yeah, you're a rock and roll artist. You just
Yeah.
don't find a lot of black people who are into rock and roll.
Exactly. And I mean, and that's just what it is. And you're not
But
doing
I'm
the
going to
type
say
of,
something that's about to be super controversial.
uh-oh. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I've said it here before.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, black people are going to have the hard conversation about who is black and who is not black. And if we keep avoiding it, we keep getting people like him that make these kind of comments
Mm.
as to why they feel like they're not accepted by black people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna say it. I mean, we're gonna have to eventually have the conversation
Right. And
as a
let
collective.
and
I miss when they used to with Tavis Smiley. Remember he used to have those was it like the state of Black America? What was that big thing he used to have?
oh yeah, I think that was what it was. It was something like that. I know
And
what you're
we
talking
need
about
to
though.
have those again
Mm-hmm.
because the culture is in need of that.
Yeah.
Because we need to really sit down, and that was like a massive. All the heads of the culture sat down and like we talked things out.
Right.
We don't have that format anymore,
No, we don't. Uh-uh.
and we need
Everything comes
that.
to social media and it's everybody's opinion. That's what it
We
is.
need that again
Mm-hmm.
because what has happened? We have they have. No, I'm not going to say we. They, the young people, we have allowed them to discredit the people whose opinion we held very valid.
Oh yeah.
We have allowed them to discredit Cornel West. We
Mm-hmm.
have allowed them to do what they did to Tavis Smiley. Like we allowed that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like the Me Too movement
Mm-hmm.
is an attack to dismantle a system.
Oh yeah. I
Sometimes
totally
I
agree
feel
with that.
it's not. I don't think it's about retribution all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is really an attack on powerful, and now it's starting to feel like an attack on powerful black men.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was just a matter of time. I mean, they got all these white men at first with the Me Too movement. So now, it's like,
And I'm gonna tell
okay.
y'all the truth, I ain't really fooled with them hoes ever since they took Charlie Rose down. I've been
Okay.
through since then.
Listen.
I ain't been with them since Charlie Rose lost his job
Mm-hmm.
on CBS this morning. I ain't been right with him since that day.
Yeah, and see, the sad thing about things like that is that it takes away from real victims because, I mean, you had these real victims out here in Hollywood who, really had stuff happen to them. And I'm just talking about Hollywood because that's where the Me Too movement ended up going. It didn't
Right,
start there,
right.
but that's where it ended up going to. But then you had people coming out saying, oh, well, so and so made me feel uncomfortable. Okay.
And you know what really pisses me off? Because a lot of these people don't even work in offices no more.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up in an era of like going to work every
Yeah.
day,
Mm-hmm.
going to the office every day,
Right.
hearing these quote unquote inappropriate jokes that they discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I might sound you know, from the old guard.
Right.
But there were just times that for some reason women don't like that some spaces are just for men.
Mhm.
Those, we will see a group of men talking and we will interject ourselves and walk up and feel like they shouldn't be saying anything that I can't hear anyway. Why? It was all men standing right there. Why did you even walk your ass over there?
Right.
Like,
And
that's the part I have a problem with. Just like when they try to integrate was it the Cub Scouts or the Boy Scouts of America with
mhm.
girls?
I mean, come on now.
Y'all are even teaching the kids at a young age that boys don't have a safe space.
Mhm.
I have been in many office settings. I have never felt offended and have people said inappropriate thing. Yes,
Mhm. Yeah, of
I
course.
never, because we knew that that's how men were.
Yeah, and especially when you're working with different generations too,
And you
because
just stayed
yeah,
away from them.
yeah.
But it never felt like I was ever scared. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
no, yes, they inappropriate, but stay away from them.
Yeah.
Y'all, for some reason, have this itch to go into their space. Like,
Mhm.
well, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna wait and see what they say. Like, what?
Yeah.
Y'all just, oh
Just looking for
Lord,
something.
y'all just looking for something,
Mhm. Something to be mad at and
destroying the
complain
very
about.
fabric of what people have like worked for, and it's
Mhm.
just, it's
I don't understand.
just weird, man.
Yeah.
And
Whew.
I can't be okay with that. And I
Mm-mm.
think that's why I just have a problem with the whole Me Too. And that's why I know it probably seems like I defend Sean vigorously, but I defend anybody who, like I said, we have to discuss both sides.
Mhm.
I felt the same way in the R. Kelly situation.
Mhm.
Why has nobody still to this day said to them parents, why was your 13-year-old daughter with that man?
Mm.
I mean, are we not allowed to ask that?
Obviously not, because some people will ask, like, what were they doing with them? But then they go right back to him. The same people who are asking, why were these girls, why were these parents led? Because you don't really want to blame the girls, but because they were so young, but
Oh
why
no,
were these
you can't
parents,
blame the children. The
right?
parents are responsible for the kids.
Yeah,
Why
so why were
was
these
your
parents,
13-year-old daughter with that man?
right? And not only just with a grown man, but a man that already had a reputation that you knew about.
And somebody said to me with the whole Aaron Hall and what was her name? I forgot. Gloria. Is that her
Gloria
Gloria?
Velez or Val, yeah.
So somebody said, how was she even able? Because I didn't read into the whole story. How
Mhm.
was she able to get on a plane and go? I think did she say he took her to the Bahamas or something?
Somewhere like that, yeah.
Took one of her friends. She said, where was her parents? How did
Yeah.
you get on a plane with a grown man and go to the Bahamas?
Right, and I didn't realize how young she was when she started dancing in all those videos, and
Oh,
yeah, and you
I
know he wasn't the only one because she was in a lot of music videos. She was one of the biggest video girls out there.
okay. And so then this is where I felt like, so wait a minute, who was responsible for the checks and balances? Because
Mhm.
as an artist, I'm sure there's some assumption like if you are on this video set,
Mhm.
you would have to at least be 18.
You would think, but I
I
don't
would
think that
think
they
that
would.
no art, I just don't
No.
think that an artist would be like, oh yeah, she's 14. Like nobody
Mhm.
would assume that. We were at home watching it. We didn't assume it.
No.
We thought she was a grown
Yeah,
woman.
I thought she was a grown woman, and and that's probably how a lot of them look, and a lot of them could have lied about their age. And they ain't gonna check that. They go, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, you
Oh yeah, 'cause
18?
yep, I seen a girl on one of them podcasts. I think it's the one with Bridget and I forget the other girl's name.
Mhm.
She said it. She said, "I'm not gonna lie." She said, "I had a fake ID."
Mhm.
She said, "Fake IDs were prevalent back
Oh
then."
yeah, you could get a fake ID real easily back then.
So then that's what we're saying.
Mhm.
Again, we're not so okay. Now she had a fake ID.
Mhm.
So as a man, let's just say. I did my due diligence and I asked her to see her ID.
Right.
Now I'm still screwed because so that leads me to believe that these young girls came into these situations
Mhm.
looking for exactly what they got.
Right. I mean, because let's keep it real. Every model, every video girl wasn't there just because they enjoyed doing what they did.
Absolutely not.
So I mean, some of them were actual legit models, and some of them now we see, are actresses and musicians, whatever. So it took them somewhere. And not saying that they didn't do dirt back then either,
I mean,
but
because we literally called them video hoes.
yeah,
Like,
I
let's
mean,
be clear.
and some of them wore that title proudly.
I mean, y'all, this is why I say we need to go back to the day when we call upstanding women,
Hmm.
hoes, hoes, and prostitutes, prostitutes. We need to go back to that because y'all be out here trying to tell us we supposed to treat prostitutes with the same regard that I treat a woman with a PhD. And baby, I ain't gonna never do that.
Oh, okay.
Now y'all can have that if y'all want to, but I'm not gonna subscribe to that belief. There is no way on God's green earth you're going to get me to believe that I'm supposed to give the same respect to a woman who is a PhD professor that I give to a prostitute. That don't even sound like it makes sense. But this is the culture and the environment that they are trying to push off on us.
Hmm.
And we just did not grow up that way.
No. No.
So then what's the purpose of carrying yourself like a lady? What's
Hmm.
the purpose of carrying yourself like an upstanding individual?
Yeah. That doesn't exist
Even men who
anymore.
don't hoe around.
Right.
What's the purpose if all we gonna do is treat everybody the same?
Hmm.
Y'all crazy.
It's crazy. Now, speaking of which, okay, so you brought up Aaron Hall, and that was one of the topics I wanted to talk about just briefly
Oh,
because so a lot came out since we had the last episode when we talked about, Puffy and his situation with Cassie and
right.
all that.
Hmm.
So, we were trying to figure out like where did this come from? Like just was it out the blue? Was it something that had been developing for a while?
Hmm.
So then I read that the who was it, the attorney general or someone in
Oh yeah, because they're running out of the statute of limitations.
Yeah. So they enacted the Adult Survivors Act. So with the
Mhm.
Adult Survivors Act, it was I wrote down that I got the definition because I was like, okay, whatever. I need to know exactly what it meant. So it was a New York legislation enacted in May 2022, which amends state law to allow alleged victims of sexual offenses for which the statute of limitations has lapsed to file civil suits for a 1 year period from November 24th, 2022 to November 24th, 2023. So that was why it was a civil
Everybody was
suit
coming
filed.
out. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why civil suits were filed because we were trying to figure out like why were
Because
these
their time was running out.
yeah, so that's why all these were found. And since then, there have been, I mean, I think Diddy's like on publicly, he's like on at least number 4 or 5.
And so what we learned about the payment is something
Yeah,
where he did not technically pay her.
no, Bad Boy did.
And so yes, because the fact that she claimed as an employee
Mm-hmm.
that she was sexually harassed.
Right.
So they have a certain type of insurance policy
Mm-hmm.
for situations like this.
Right.
And what it said that they did was they saw what the cap was on the policy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they requested.
Right.
And that's where she got her money from.
Yeah.
He didn't have to pay her.
Mm-hmm.
The company paid her.
So that's why you're going to see in a lot of these cases that are coming against Puff that is going to
They're
be
going to go for the assets for the company.
right. And then it also brought in his longtime producer, and he also did some background vocals, Harv Pierre. He got caught up in this because he's being accused of, I think, 2 or 3 so far that have been publicly put out there, sexual harassment and all that stuff going on that he's being
Oh,
accused of. And he was an employee of Bad Boy. I don't know if he still is, but he was at least at that point when all this was going on. And of course, we talked about Aaron Hall. He has the one with Gloria Velez or whatever. And then he had one more with Diddy. like where the two of them were involved, like it was a tag team type deal, I guess you could say. So then you have, of course, Andrew Cuomo, who's already been caught up in stuff. New York City's own mayor, Eric Adams, L.A. Reid, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jamie
Child.
Foxx, John Bon Jovi, and that's just a few. And then some people were trying to bring Mary J. Blige into it, saying
Did you
that,
see that shit Danny Boy
girl,
said?
I was like, okay, come. I
I
was like, now
said, so
y'all
now they
reaching.
finna try to come for the women.
Yeah.
Cause she said something they said that Mary was with. I think they were trying to say Mary was with Case or with somebody, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, I knew that couldn't be true because Mary was with me. Like that was my woman, and he was 16. I be telling y'all, all women leave them young boys alone. Somebody need to get Jada Pinkett's ass.
Listen,
Girl,
child.
this is insane.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
why
just so tired. I'm so tired of this.
it's just like it's crazy. But since they rescinded that, well, they put in that Adult Survivors Act. That's why
Yes,
we've
if
been seeing all
they
this.
lessened that time. They knew their
Mm-hmm.
time was coming to an end.
Mm-hmm. And everybody was filing. They were like, "Oh no, You know, they removed that statute of limitations temporarily, and that's why we're seeing all this. I was just like, wow,
This is just so much.
girl. Okay, so one more thing I want to talk about,
Uh-huh. You're fine.
girl. So
Uh-oh.
King Harris.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
So King Harris, who is the son, one of the children, one of the sons of T.I. and Tiny, he was acting a fool, and he's been acting a fool. I think that there is something seriously wrong with him, and I'm not being funny. I think I think he has some issues going on because I didn't even know that. Like he really didn't even live with the family. Like
I
he,
can't. Yes, go ahead. Because I
okay,
can't wait to say this because this is burning my ass about this
girl.
thing.
Okay, so this conversation can go many places. But so basically, let me say what happened recently. So Ti, he was performing at the Atlanta Falcons game, and of course, you know they get put up in a press box or whatever. You know, not press box, but a suite and everything. You know, they're all fancy and stuff. So you know they got their people around. I don't know what started it. You know, I still haven't got that, but
Because
you,
King is a fucking idiot.
yeah,
Oh,
basically. So because he's an idiot, they start arguing. And I mean, the argument got really intense to the point where T.I. had to put him in a chokehold. You know, but they said what really set him off, you know, he was just talking about how, you know, basically he was saying
so
some off the hook stuff.
so I watched. So the argument started. Just he kept saying, "Oh, I'm from the hood.
Yeah,
I
that's where I was trying to
I was
get
in the
to.
bando." Saying all kind of crazy stuff like that. And so Tiny is holding the camera like, "Dude, no, you doesn't. Like, say you want to
Yeah.
be this man. Want to be hood so bad.
And then she said, I think what
I
really set him
would,
off was
I would,
he had a pass he
I
was
would."
sucking on a pacifier till he was
And,
12 or
and that's what turned it for him.
yeah.
So for him, they was like, "You really want to know why King wanted to stay over my mama house? Because this man wanted to suck his pacifier till he was 12, and we weren't going for that. We know Ti wasn't going for
Oh,
that.
hell no. You know that.
So then King want to get all animated, and so like, why you let that man play with me? He pushed Tiny though.
Yeah. Push his mama.
That's when it went left.
Yeah. Yeah.
He pushed Tiny, and then Ti ran up on him like, "You are embarrassing yourself." Like
Mm-hmm.
basically, boy, shut up. You embarrassing
Yeah.
yourself. Only for Ti to yoke him up, baby, because you talking about two dogs fighting. The
Okay.
camera just started like, all you heard was like,
Yeah, you couldn't even see what happened. If we wouldn't have known what happened if people didn't say nothing that were
he was
there.
like, "You can't do shit with me. You can't do nothing with me." Hey, so okay, this is what my issue. We all was there,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a serious problem like listening to people's opinion about this,
Mm-hmm.
especially people who are in their 20s. Y'all shut up. Shut up. We haven't seen King since he was about 3. So
Right.
y'all be quiet, okay? Remember, T.I. went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in prison, Tiny had King and she had Major.
Mm-hmm.
Major was so little he was in a car seat though.
Right.
So they thought, because Tiny got this new baby, and then, she had King, and King always been wild.
Yeah.
They thought it was best for King to be with Miss Diane.
Mm-hmm.
So King would go over Miss Diane's house, and that's where he was staying.
Right. Who is
Now,
Tiny's mom, for those of you who don't
Tiny's
know?
mom.
Yeah.
So now, what if we remember? Because again, this one I was heavily steeped in reality TV. I
Mm-hmm.
don't fool with
Same.
it no more.
Yeah.
But remember, when soon as Ti came home from jail, they would sit in that house, and one of the first things he said, because he didn't really like King being over there.
Right.
He was not okay with it when he was in prison. They let it, he let it go because he wasn't home. He
Mm-hmm.
understood she had a baby. Zanique was still young. Zanique
Mm.
might have been like 13.
Yeah, she was a
So,
definitely younger
she was
teenager.
still taking care of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that man said, I'll never forget this scene. He was sitting on that kitchen counter. He said, so we need to go get King. When is King? We need to go on and transition King to coming back home. He need to come
Mm.
home. So for him, and now mind you, he's like 4 or 5.
Right.
He might have been 6. I don't even think he was 6. But now for you to act like you grew up in a hood your whole life, King, you lying. You might have been spent a lot of time with Miss Diane, but see, Miss Diane catered to you too.
Right, of
And
course.
you said you think it's something wrong with him. You want me to tell you what's wrong with him? He was raised by that white woman.
Mm.
And I'll be telling y'all at the end of all this, no disrespect to the white listeners,
But
but y'all just raise y'all kids different.
yeah.
And that's the real problem.
And then
He
he
was
came
raised by
back to
that
that
white
black
woman, and that's why
household.
he act like that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the other kids that Precious had her hands on,
Mm-hmm.
them kids, you don't see Major acting like that.
Heck no. You don't see none of them
Johnny
acting like
don't
that.
act like that.
Uh-uh.
Damani, Messiah,
None of them.
Deja, none
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yep.
It's only King.
Mm-hmm.
The common denominator is King was raised by that white woman.
Right. That's it. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's no shade. I mean, that's
Like
just what it
real
is. What it
talk.
is. Yeah.
And Miss Diane was over there spoiling him,
Mm-hmm. You
letting
know
him do
that.
whatever,
A grandchild and the only one that was there? Oh yeah. Yeah.
letting him drink whatever, eat whatever,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't no structure.
And then he gets back with Ti, who is very old school. So,
Yeah,
it's like, you weren't going to get away with that. So, it's just it was like a culture shock to him,
yeah.
yeah, so something definitely
He
messed with him there.
he did not like that.
Mm-mm. And he's been acting out since.
Ever since he been acting
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Yeah.
He went like he said he want to be hood so bad.
Yeah. But hey, like he tweeted, he'll give or he posted on social media that, you give him 10K, he'll tell all.
And you know what I went in the comments and said when Ti had posted something, I said that one right there, he gonna rob y'all.
Oh
So
yeah.
y'all need to go home, change all your passwords,
Mm-hmm.
change the locks on your doors, because he'll be the one that'll shut y'all house up and somebody will come in and rob y'all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
so yeah.
all jokes aside,
Mhm. Seriously, cuz
because
he's
he
a
got so much animosity in his heart
mhm.
towards them.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful. And it's sad to say,
Mhm.
but when your kids act like that, you got to be careful of them.
Yeah. And watch him around the other kids
Yep,
because oof. Yeah.
yep. You got to be careful of them
Ciao.
because he really, you know, he concerns me
Yeah,
now.
very well. That's why I said he got issues and it's very concerning.
From a therapy standpoint, he concerns me.
That's why I really wanted to talk about it because like I was saying this could go either way, but
Yeah,
we took it the real way because it could just be some people could just be looking at it who don't know the background. I'm glad you gave all that information. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
yeah,
But
because they act like and I hate to hear people giving their think pieces. I'll be like, we was there, like we saw
mhm.
it, we watched it, like we watched it play out.
Right, cuz some people were just saying, which I mean he is too, but it was just like a tradition of these ungrateful ass kids, who are rich and everything like that, but his situation's a lot different.
Yeah, and I seen somebody say, "Oh, they wanted him to be quiet." because he was telling the truth. He know I'm like, y'all sound dumb.
Dumb. We all were there. So it's like, if you
Like,
watch the
girl,
show,
you 22.
yeah.
You ain't probably even never seen it off of YouTube. Shut up.
No. I mean, you can go to the VH1 app or whatever it is and go back and watch those episodes if you got questions. But a lot of these blogs, they just take a headline and they run with it. They don't do their research because they don't have to, because they got people who will go in the comments and, take their word for it because, oh, the Shade Room said this, all Gossip said that, so, Hollywood Unlocked, it got to be legit because Jason's and, he knows everybody, so it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like we were saying at the beginning of the show, form your own opinion. If you're really
Right.
if you really want to know what's going on, form your own opinion. But a lot of
And
people
just
are
because
lazy.
you don't like the person,
Mm-hmm.
see, and this is why I don't trust y'all and I don't trust y'all's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Because you base your opinions off of the fact that you don't like someone.
Oh, of course,
You
yeah.
don't genuinely look at the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't weigh both sides of the argument.
Right.
You automatically don't like the person. And a lot of y'all operate out of jealousy too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be jealous of what a person has, or you see a person living a certain way, and you be jealous and you automatically, oh, they probably is doing, they probably is. It's like, look, I don't agree with a lot of the ways that, you know, they probably live their life, but it ain't none of my business. And I
Right.
posted that too. Like, I really wish I missed the days when we did not know the personal lives of celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know you for the music.
Yeah.
I don't, I, but I said this the last time we recorded. I don't, we all need to be careful when we make these judgments of the things that people do behind closed doors in their bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you be careful
Yeah.
because the judgment you're making, they're going to come for you.
Oh, of course, yeah. They're just waiting,
Like,
waiting.
I have stopped having such a desire to know what people are doing behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Let them live their life.
And see, but these reality shows have brought us into that. I mean, it started like with what the Anna Nicole show and the Osbournes, when we got a glimpse into these famous families, and then it just trickled on down. That's
I
all.
say think about yourself though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want privacy?
Right. Oh, it ain't
Think
about.
about yourself on your worst moment. And I'm not saying you,
No, I
I'm
know what
saying
you're
just
saying.
people.
Yeah.
Don't think about yourself on your worst moment.
And
Do you actually want people to know that?
and and then that right there, and people in the comments will be like, oh well, like they like celebrities owe us something. Oh well, they shouldn't, they're in the public eye, so we got a right to know. No, you don't.
Oh, they just happen to have a talent that
Mm-hmm.
they want to share with the rest of us.
Right.
We should at least, because they're gracious enough to share their talent,
Mm-hmm.
grant them their privacy and serenity.
Right. Right.
At the very least, y'all just ugh.
Yeah,
But it's the times, it's the
it's the time.
generation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we were like, we hated nosy people growing up.
Yeah, and we didn't know anything about these celebrities except for when their new album
Whatever
was coming
they
out.
released in the Vibe magazine,
Mm-hmm.
whatever
That was
information
it.
they gave to Essence,
Mm-hmm. And those were like legitimate interviews with legitimate journalists.
journalists.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and not saying that there wasn't any mess or nothing like that. There definitely was. But it was like you
Oh
said,
yeah.
it was what they put out.
And they still divulge stuff in those articles. I remember reading in one of those articles, which I had no clue until I read it,
Mm-hmm.
that Mary J. Blige and Casey had been engaged. That he had given her an engagement ring.
Mm-hmm.
That they were fighting.
Yeah.
Like they used to get in physical fights.
Mm-hmm.
I read that in an article that she did.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't tell us the stuff they wanted us to know, but
Mm-hmm.
y'all want to know stuff that they don't want to share.
Right. And then got the nerve to get mad. That's the thing. Got the nerve to get offended and say, well, I ain't gonna support them no more. I
And
mean,
even like the women who are with them behind closed doors,
mm,
or the men who are with them behind closed doors.
yeah.
Why do you go tell them that is
Immediately.
imagine being not able to trust the person who you have let into your most intimate space. Because some
Mm-hmm.
of y'all can't trust y'all man right now.
I mean that part.
Imagine him leaving the confines of y'all's bedroom and telling all your business.
Mhm. People don't care.
But y'all eat it up when it happened to other people.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. People send me stuff all day about that puffy stuff.
Mhm.
After that first, I don't listen. I don't read it no more.
Yeah, after I found out
I
about that.
check. I look at it. When I
Mhm.
see it's about him, I just move on.
Yeah, after I read about this Adult Survivors Act, I was like, okay, it all makes sense now. Now I see why it's all happening, and that was all I needed to know.
Which goes back to me saying it's about the money
Mhm.
because it clearly says civil case.
Exactly.
You're not doing it for any, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not doing it for any justice. You're
Right.
not. You're doing it to get some money.
Mhm.
Because if it was that big of a deal, you would have done it a long time ago.
Mm.
And I'm gonna go right back to Cassie because it started with her.
Mhm.
You married with 2 kids.
Yeah.
How did your husband feel? I would have felt some kind of way as her
Oh,
husband.
publicly he's supporting her because he just posted something real nice about her not too long ago. Talking
Yeah,
about what a
because
great year.
she just made him $30 million richer.
I mean, let's talk about it. That part right there.
Yeah. You was probably behind her pulling the strings.
Oh, of
You
course.
probably told her to do it.
Quote unquote supporting. Yeah, of course.
And she's so stupid, you don't even realize he played you.
Mhm.
Because let's be honest, a man who loves you and care about you, now is he going to nurture you and make you, baby, it's okay? Make sure you get the therapy and the help you need.
Mhm.
You basically exposed her.
Yeah.
You exposed her private moments with a man that she spent 10 years of her life with.
Mhm. And was
I
your
wouldn't
friend.
I just don't I wouldn't feel protected by a husband who would have been okay with that.
I can see that. Yeah. I
That
can
would
see
that would
that.
make me feel some kind of way.
Mhm. Child.
No. Mm-mm.
Ooh,
Child.
it's a lot.
That was a lot, girl.
Girl, but we got through all the topics though that we wanted to talk about. So, ooh.
Child. I don't know what to say.
Just go ahead and close it
It was
out.
rough. It
It
was rough,
was. It
but
was.
go with God. That's what my word
That's
for the week
it.
is.
That's it. That's it right
Go with
there.
God.
Mhm.
Check your moral temperature this week.
Please.
Are you doing things in a right and upstanding way? Don't just do it because you feel like it.
Right.
Make sure you check your motives at the door.
Ooh,
Is
listen.
it gonna hurt somebody else?
Mhm.
Am I in somebody's business? Am I offending somebody when I say this?
Think before you speak.
As always, you can reach us at girl underscore you know what on Instagram at Wellness and Women and at DannieBSpeaks. Until next time, bye bye, everybody.
Bye everyone.